Hey guys, what's up? This is Brandon. I'm going to be reacting today to a video called What Makes Anime Great and Why Hollywood Ruins It. If you didn't know, I'm very passionate about this. Obviously, I work in the manga and webtoon space, so usually the projects that go to anime. And also, I've been pitching a lot in the film space as well recently. And I've been very skeptical about Hollywood's adaptations. I think they're adapting video games very well, but in terms of anime, they've been freaking slaughtering all of the IPs that they've touched so far. So I'm curious what the Corridor crew has to say. Make sure to drop a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe for more content like this, that it'll be educational. And comment. Comment anything you want. Let's get started watching the video.
So as it happens, we're in the middle of making another really awesome anime video. Most anime adaptations are pretty bad. I've got my own theories for why they're
Dragon Ball.
Today, let's dive in and figure that out exactly.
The best animes achieve a way of storytelling and pulling your emotions around that even some of the best movies struggle with. So what is that magic? Why is anime so powerful when it's good? And why do movies struggle to reach those same peaks? We're gonna take a look at these, compare some of the originals to the live action remakes, and see where they went wrong or where they went right, so that when we keep shooting this anime video that we're making, it'll be the best it can be.
The first thing we need to look at is Cowboy Bebop. It is one of the most recent high-profile Hollywood adaptations of anime.
It's so interesting because I didn't even bother to watch the live action. Even though the live action trailer looked really good, I just had this feeling like they were going to mess it up because Cowboy Bebop is such a classic, you know, such a classic anime. And when you think of classic anime and then you think Hollywood live action adaptation, you know that they have 100% screw up rate. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're going to be talking about how Hollywood ruined it, which I'm curious to see because I didn't end up watching it.
Anime.
Cowboy Bebop is a classic anime. It came out in 1998, and it's kind of known for launching this music to storytelling to vibe connection that you see in a lot of anime these days. Plus, really inventive like worlds, really vibrant characters, amazing animation for like body language and body movement. It hits and it cooks, and it's just fun. In the first episode of Cowboy Bebop, pay attention here to how much we learn about the character, how efficient and economic the story is with its storytelling and its animation, and how once things are delivered, we move on to something else interesting right away.
Looking for this?
Character moment right there, with Spike revealing that he pickpocketed him. Oh, he's sly, he's a fox, he's got this guy. They're specifically not revealing the character until you have this like stylish intro, so you got some theatrics in it, operatic storytelling.
That's actually something I've noticed in a lot of anime that they do really well, which is there's zero qualms about hiding someone's face until the time's right.
It's peak drama.
I think a lot of the reasons they do that in anime and also in manga is like the reveal on a manga page. Like, I mean, the way we do it is we use a bunch of mini panels to like showcase like a lot of mini actions, etc. And then it builds up to a large manga panel. And that's usually why the reveals also in anime are also like it rises up, right? It's like mini panels, like little movements, boom, big reveal that lead up to it. So that's a lot of mangaka use that tactic as well in terms of storytelling and how you lay out your panels.
Drama. Like the moment he reveals himself, it's also a challenge to a fight. And at the same time, that's when you first see the character. And so you have a fight scene here, right? But this fight scene is telling you a story immediately. Spike's not using his hands, right? He's sure of himself, he's cocky. And when they want to show you his emotion, they cut to a shot of his face. It's all character-based. This guy's got rage and power, there's danger there. That table got destroyed, so Spike gets hit, he gets hurt. But no, he's cool, he's a character. That guy's not fast enough on his drug to dodge a punch. And Spike's kicking his butt.
I feel like for some reason slow motion has been relegated to just dodging crap now. Like ever since The Matrix, it's like, oh, that was a close call. But in this, all the slow motion is for the impacts. It's not the dodges. It's once the flesh meets the flesh, now we're in...
That's so interesting. I've noticed that too. I mean, in anime, I'm primarily in the manga and webtoon space, so when we want the impact to be extra heavy, we'll change the panel perspective. So like in Naruto, when Naruto punches Haku, Naruto in the manga will punch him in angle one, and then boom, it flips to another angle of the same punch, like a triple angle. Like usually that is, if we want to really emphasize a scene, we'll like change angles. That's one strategy. But yeah, there's no way for us to do slow motion. So this is interesting to see their take on this.
Slow motion. It's like, whoa, boom, the face is going and contorting in blood and spit. It's like an opposite approach to using that technique.
So when the goons show up, they serve a very specific purpose: to interrupt the fight and to give this guy a chance to get away. And look at this, more story, right? Every single moment is story. She wasn't pregnant, turns out it's a bunch of drugs. She's smuggling them. Huge shift in the character right there. Goons, they're stopping Spike. Jet shows up, takes care of the goons, done. That's it, it's that fast. It's brevity, it's economical. The Netflix remake of Cowboy Bebop has the same scene.
You gonna kill your way to Mars?
Instantly, the character reveal, totally different.
Also, this is taking a lot longer to get through the character moment that the animation version already covered. Spike's cool, and he's gonna take control. The amount of time it took me to say that is the amount of time they should have shown it. Spike's still standing there, staring at this dude. And staring at this dude. And staring at this dude. And staring at this dude.
Not interested.
Hits him, no emphasis on the impacts. They may have well just not have happened, that guy may have just tripped.
They could have done that in slow motion, by the way. If I was gonna make this,
That's true. They could have done it in slow motion. Also, I like how they pointed out the character entrance. It wasn't that. That was terrible. Usually, like, it was like a distance shot too. Like, if we go back, like, it's a distance shot. Like, he's coming out from behind this like box. You can't even clearly see his face here when he first shows up.
if I was gonna make this scene more anime, I would have probably started right there.
All right, goons are showing up, and now the scene's running into some problems here, right? So you have like a boss goon character. You have Jet here. You have Spike here. You have the guy, and you have the girl. That's a lot of characters for a scene. And now they're gonna try to do the whole like, I'm not pregnant, it turns out it's drugs in my tummy kind of gag. Now it should just be a moment between her and her boyfriend. Becomes a moment between her and Spike, Jet, the goon, and everybody else. You have multiple cameras covering it, and then the editors just go and they pick the best shots for the best moments based on what you got. But that doesn't work for anime, because you don't have shots that have purpose.
When you're doing animation, it's not like, oh, which angle of animation should we choose from? Like, no, like people haven't drawn it yet.
Yeah.
They're gonna draw it one time, and you need to choose what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, and in that process, you can make any story feel big because you're highlighting the emotions perfectly. But in this case, they made a big story feel small.
So as long as we keep the shots evolving and like always changing and always matching the tone of the moment, I think that's gonna help a ton.
The moment a story beat is hit, move on.
Makes sense.
Ghost in the Shell has some of the coolest action sequences in any anime I've ever seen, and I just think we should watch it because it's awesome. Anime destruction,
That's so good.
there's something about it that captures this like explosiveness. It reminds me of like John Woo.
The lobby scene from The Matrix.
We're gonna probably talk about The Matrix a lot. Matrix is the best live action anime adaptation, even though it's not anime. But anyways, The Matrix.
Wait, that's such an interesting take. By the way, I want to say I love these guys, the Corridor guys. They're so knowledgeable. From a film perspective, I feel like I'm learning a lot just from listening to them talk from the film side. But that's really funny that they said that about The Matrix is the best live action anime.
Is super inspired from this sequence. It's your classic, highly destructive columns action scene with big bullets. I love that. Hold on, can we just talk about the muzzle flashes and like him shooting this thing? Muzzle flash, impact, circular like halo flaring around the impact, dust shockwaves coming up around him. It's so beautiful. Like it shows so much like force and impact.
And watch the exit wound on the bottom of the tank.
Damn.
Look how the balcony cracks from the shockwave of the gun.
Oh my god. It's such a concussive burst of gunfire.
Well, I love how they notice these details, but I love how definitely the animators are like, okay, how can we make this? How can we emphasize how destructive that is? And I'd say like 95% of people might not even like look twice at those frames and those details, but like you got to respect the animators who really put in the work to make us feel, to really add those details to make us feel those things, right? Make us understand how big that impact is, etc.
That the thing he's standing on is shaking and falling apart.
Man,
Brilliant.
movies just don't do guns justice. The bullet hits are really underwhelming. I'm seeing like a bunch of dust, but I'm not seeing like holes in the wall.
When I think about anime, I also think about stylized physics. You have like the water streamers, you have the weird musculature that's like straining, the slow motion explosions. Oh God, look at that. Once again, slow motion for the part that counts.
Expressive physics.
It's expressive physics.
It's like this thing is so tough to deal with. Watch her go all out and push herself to the very limit to kill it.
And then fail. That's a heavy hitter. Let's watch the
Am I gonna get in trouble? I'm pretty sure there's a nipple there.
version. I'm really curious to see how they do this. I'm not looking forward to it.
Look at Scarlett Johansson's face while she's tearing this thing up. Ah, she's trying really hard, right? Now let's look at the original one.
Ooh, can't see my eyes. I'm wearing goggles.
The struggle's not about her face, it's about her muscles.
People in Hollywood hate putting masks on characters. You
Yep.
see this in the Marvel films so much. They're like, Iron Man is supposed to wear a mask. You're like, how are you gonna see his face? Oh, how are you gonna see his face? Then it's
Robert
a
Downey Jr.'s
movie.
costing us so much money.
We have to show his face. You know, and then anime, they're like,
I love how I mean, we can go on and on about this. Scarlett Johansson is the character from Ghost in the Shell.
I don't give a shit. Like, hide his face. I don't care. Like, we're not paying, like, the drawing, you know? Like, we're paying the artist, we're paying the voice actor. You can still be a good actor and wear a mask. All right, character reveal. Expressive posture, not just standing, but, like, chill.
And now in the movie,
Section 9 is
Who's our character? They're standing here. And
it's Scarlett Johansson.
I actually don't think that character reveal was terrible. You see the environment, etc. I think if she just had a better like body language, it would have just that would have done it. But that's funny. And they're just zooming on the face of Scarlett Johansson.
And she's not wearing her mask. Even though, like, the whole point of this opening scene is she's using the mask to get data and recon. She's just standing there, like, looking at the skyscraper that's, like, 20 blocks away. She's getting no information.
It feels like the director here is serving marketing and not serving the character. And it's not, look, here's the character doing important.
I feel like the director was also thinking like, how can I make this character who's really broody like feel like Batman? She's just standing over the city like Batman, just like looking down. Okay.
Character things in the world. It's look at the actress we have. The other one, character comes first, world comes first. Everything else comes afterwards.
Couldn't even done this? Like, maybe just start with them down. How about that? Start with them down and have her go like this. You've seen someone take their sunglasses off dramatically before, right? Like,
My big takeaway from this is we need to have actors who are always accessible, and we need to be able to shoot somewhere that's always accessible and not constraining us.
that would help.
Our priority should be make the best shots we possibly can.
There is one thing about anime we have not talked about yet.
The internal monologue.
The internal monologue. So that's why
The internal monologue. I don't think that would translate well to. Oh, correct me. That's incorrect. There are some sequences where internal monologues work really well. Arguably, like the internal narration, internal and some internal monologue can work. Internal thoughts, internal narration, like in Ready Player One. I thought that was fine, but like the over-the-top dramatic stuff that happens in anime would be kind of cringe if it was to try and cross over into Hollywood in live action, and that's the reason why they don't do it. But I mean, here's the thing: Alice in Borderland, right? Alice in Borderland is a great example of anime to live action that was done perfectly, done amazingly. No internal monologue. All the monologue stuff that was going on, they just used as dialogue, which sounded kind of like, like, oh, why are you thinking out loud type of thing. But it's like under his breath. It's like he's thinking out loud. It's like, okay, it's not awkward. Alice in Borderland, guys, check it out. It's like Squid Games, but Japanese, and it's based off a manga, and it has an anime. And also, it's better than Squid Game, so check it out. That's the best manga to live action adaptation that I've seen, for sure.
we should watch a little Death Note.
Even if he has as many as 50 people on the case.
Oh my god. The Death Note Netflix live action was fucking garbage.
I don't see how they could ever figure out that I'm Kira.
Weird. Was he saying something? But his mouth wasn't moving.
Above all, I need my stalker's name. Once I figure that out, I can get rid of him for good.
It doesn't feel goofy because it's incredibly serious.
Hey, he's talking about killing somebody.
He's talking about killing someone. It's like, how do you do that in live action?
It's so hard. Also, I mean, like, doing it in manga and webtoons, we don't even think about that kind of stuff. It's just, like, so natural because it's, like, someone's voice doesn't have to say it. So we just, like, we just put that in the manga, we put that in the webtoon, and it's so simple. And it's, like, the reader just reads it, and it's like, oh, it just, they're thinking this. Boom, done. The challenge then for anime was, like, how do we make this not awkward? But the way they did it was not awkward at all, right, in this anime, because that's the culture of it. Now, how do you do it in live action? I still think... Damn it. The thing that I said about Alice in Borderland, where he says it out loud, says under his breath, for this scenario, where Light Yagami is in a situation where he can't say something out loud, that wouldn't work. I'm curious what their solution is, if they have one.
In manga, you have thought bubbles. I mean, heck, in a book, you can
Okay,
read what
yeah.
people are thinking about and like what they're feeling.
This is why Sherlock Holmes started off his books. It's like you're solving mysteries, and there's a lot of thinking and logic. Like,
Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, he did the discombobulate when he's fighting. He's thinking out in his mind. Wait, that's perfect.
And then when he's like punching him and stuff, and like her fights.
First, distract target. Then block his blind jab. Counter with cross to left cheek.
Yeah, like there is actually some inner
Discombobulate. Boom.
So effective when you really need it.
Hollywood filmmaking almost never has narration happening, internal monologues.
God help you if you use voiceover in your work, my friends. It's flaccid, sloppy writing.
But it's such an interesting way to gain insight into like what people are thinking, to let you truly appreciate the character better, which is at the end of the day what this all serves.
I think that's really hard because in live action, like a lot of what they teach you in like film school and stuff is like, hey, how can you convey your thoughts through actions and through the actor without saying it, like just saying it to the reader. However, in anime and manga, sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do that because the mediums are different. And for manga, you know, we have limited panels. For anime, there's limited screen time, and every second is way more costly because someone has to draw it than someone acting it out, right? Usually we save a lot of time and by just telling the reader what this guy's thinking instead of like trying to get them to figure it out, which has now evolved into this, you know, some characters like Light Yagami can have very advanced thoughts.
Relax, Light. While it's true that Kira hates losing, it's also true that most people would rather win than lose. It's human nature.
Is he going to think that I'm Kira if I go for the win?
It's like a great scene, but if you think about it a lot, it's hilarious. It's almost 2.5 minutes of characters talking in their heads to each other.
This is so good. But see, this does something really awesome, which is it lets you take any story and make it epic. All we need is to know that somebody cares so much about this thing and that they'll do anything to get it. And this problem is in the way. And if they don't solve that problem, it's just gonna be awful. That can really be as small as like, I need a cup of water, or it can be as big as like, this asteroid is gonna destroy the Earth. Because really the scale doesn't matter. It's how good you hit the peaks and valleys of the story. That's all that really matters.
All right, well, they made this for real.
This is so cringe.
Intentional physics.
Whoa.
Oh!
Oh,
I love it.
that's chunky.
Yeah, I feel like every single shot was planned. They all serve an exact purpose in the scene. Yeah, I feel intention. I feel planning. I feel like the characters are being served, like they're not trying to hit marketing.
I forgot. That was so dark.
In the background the whole time, like
It's not like the first shot is his face. Willem Dafoe, and then he puts a mask on.
yeah, it's like they're not showing him. They're keeping him in the dark. It's cool.
They've at least been able to overcome the challenge of like making it function. You know what I'm saying? They're not like
They're saying a lot of good things about the Death Note live action. That concerns me because the Death Note, I mean, from the storytelling aspect, the previous issues that they talked about, sure, fine. It was garbage.
tying themselves down to the original so much that it prevents them from making a competent film.
I think what it could use, if it wanted to be anime, is just a way to emphasize those peaks and valleys even more.
What is happening? They're being attacked?
Nick!
Oh, what?
Big game, right? So we have no excuses. We better hit the mark.
And it's actually going to be an incredibly special one because it's going to be our first anime one that actually looks like anime. It's gonna
Oh, they're making an anime.
pretty crisp.
Wait, what is it? Is this off of, is that Castlevania?
The big thing is, from a story perspective, when we look at anime, we see focus, we see intense intention and how it pairs with the visuals, we see passion and playfulness in the story, extreme highs and lows, and getting us there by whatever means necessary. Let's achieve those in our anime piece. So we're already hard at work on this anime video. I'm gonna be cranking away for the next couple weeks here. When it comes out, if you watch this video, hopefully you see some of the things that we talked about here applied to that video that we just made.
Okay, so most of these
Is this Castlevania? Where is this?
like westernized Hollywood versions of anime, and that's not the totality. There's tons of actual adaptations that are made in Japan, and don't
Yep.
even get me started on Bollywood films. If there's any awesome adaptations you've seen, let us know in the comments below.
I mean, we're real dudes.
Okay, I'm curious on what they're going to be making, so that's really exciting. Adaptations, guys, Alice in Borderland, fire. Even the Death Note Japanese version was better. I would also say Kenshin is also a really good live-action adaptation with really good choreography. Anyway, guys, I really like that video. I agree with everything that they said, except for they were praising Death Note a little bit, which was an absolute, like, maybe just for those few scenes that they showed was fine, but like the overall, oh my god, so bad. Anyway, guys, please check out the original video that they have. It's going to be linked in the description. And make sure to like and subscribe for more stuff. And let me know what next video I should react to and give my thoughts on. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next week. Peace.